Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life Lived Lessons Learned. We are on episode 7 of the season. I'll be honest with you, I saw a video by Gabrielle Union. It was on TikTok, and she was basically saying women over 30 are constantly being told like time's running out, and she was basically coming on as someone who's, older than 30 and saying your time isn't running out. And what I have realized is when it comes to dating, because a lot of people feel as though time is running out or whatever, they date with pressure and not purpose. And you might be watching and you're like, this doesn't actually kind of apply to me. And I think it does, because I think you can apply all of these things kind of to like job hunting or like your career. But we're going to mainly speak about dating. But dating with purpose and not pressure is key to the whole dating world. Now, I'm talking about a specific type of person, okay? Now, I'm not talking about the person who wants to be out here having her hot girl summer. You don't want to be dating to settle down or to marry. That's fine. You go live your life, okay? You are not the type of person I'm talking to, because your intention is to have fun, and I back your fun. I want you to have fun. I'm talking about the person who wants to date and find someone who they can settle down with. Some people don't believe in marriage, so I won't necessarily say marry, but someone who you want like a long-term partnership with, someone who you want to invest in, and vice versa, they invest into you, right? That's who I'm talking about. And if you are this person and you are trying to dating by giving yourself pressure, i.e. a timeline, i.e., I need to have kids, or I want to get married, or society tells me I have to settle down now. If you're dating with those parameters, you're dating wrong, and you're probably going to be dating the wrong type of people, okay? So let's start from the top. Little backstory on Sarel's dating life. I had a boyfriend at uni. I was quite young. I would say I was young. Let me start here. I grew up in a very Christian African household. So that comes with when you go to university, you're probably going to find the love of your life and get married and settle down and have 4 children. It didn't happen. And I'm so grateful it didn't. And no tea, no shade to that man. He was a great guy, and, we didn't break up on bad terms, but I was a child. I was a child bride. If I got married at 21, I'm too young. No, what are you trying to do? No, it's too young. But when we broke up, I realized that I just wasn't in the right headspace to be dating. I kind of wanted to live life. I wanted to have my hot girl summer. I wanted to, find out about myself, travel the world, see myself and get to know myself and whatever. So I didn't date for a hot sec intentionally. I wasn't on the apps. If men were coming up to me and being like, hey, sweet fern, sexy mama, we want to talk to you, I'd be like, no, thank you, sir. Leave me alone. And I was actively not dating actively. And then I got to 24, 25, and then I started dating. But again, I was dating now for fun. Sometimes you want to be taken out to a nice restaurant, and there's a fine little man over there. I'm going to go on the date with the good looking man. We'll go have a nice meal, we'll have good adult conversation. Great. Let me say this. When I was dating before, it wasn't like I wasn't dating with intention, but I wasn't there yet where I was willing to change my life for someone. And when I say change my life, I mean slot them into my life. I was focused on my career. And when I was dating around the age of 24, if an audition came up or a date came up, I promise you I'm going to the audition, because my career was of utmost importance to me at that time. So naturally, it just didn't end up going anywhere with anyone, because I just didn't have the capacity to bring somebody into the whatever. Turned 26, 27 now, and I felt a shift, and I was like, no, I'm ready to date. Not only that, I want to share all the hard things I've done, and all these things I've worked on, and all these fun achievements. I want to share them with someone now. I want to have somebody in the mix. And when I was dating, I was very clear. I had non-negotiables. What were my non-negotiables, you might ask? I'll go through a couple of them with you. Number 1, I don't date men with kids. Now, somebody's going to be like, that's really prejudicial, Sarel. That's really mean. I didn't say there's nothing wrong with men with kids, but I also know myself well enough that Sarel of current day would not be a great stepmother. And being a step parent to a whole other child is a job in itself. And it's not a job that I feel I am well equipped enough for right now. What was another non-negotiable? I didn't want to date a man with no ambition. I don't care about what your current tax bracket is. Never have, don't care. But if I tell you in the next 10 to 15 years, I want to be living in this type of house, driving this type of car, holidaying this many times a year, and you turn around to me and you're like, oh, I don't think that's doable. How can we do that? Whoa, buddy, I'm not the girl for you. I'm a big dreamer. I've got crazy plans. And if you are basing our life on your current circumstances is probably not going to work for me. I need someone who's ambitious. When I tell you I want to live in a particular house, what I want to hear from you is, okay, will we have 3 garages or 4? That's the response. That's the only response that I want. If I hear, yeah, but I only earn, shut up. You're a loser. Or immediately you're a loser. To me, you're a loser. I don't want to hear it. I want someone with ambition. So that was a non-negotiable for me. I can't deal with a man who is stingy. I grew up in a household where my father is a giver. If I said to my dad, hey dad, I need XYZ money just for fun, my dad wouldn't turn around and be like, for fun? I work hard and you just want money for fun? No, my dad would be like, you deserve to have fun. You deserve to treat yourself. Here is some extra pocket money. Even if he didn't have it, he would work hard to get that for his children, for his wife. So I've only grown up seeing men who are givers, generous, etc., etc. So I didn't want a man who was stingy, and I didn't want a man who was selfish. Be family oriented, be able to give in abundance, because I give in abundance. And also all these things that I'm saying, it's not things that I am not. They are things that I bring to the table, which also, can I just say, is a term that I hate. Despise that term. Pause. We're going to come back to this. If you ever go on a date with a man and he asks you, what do you bring to the table? I want you to loudly push your chair back like out of the restaurant, stand up and walk out. Because immediately, what do you mean, what do I bring to the table? Let's just break that down. What do you mean? What would you like me to bring to the table? Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. Shut up. What was I saying? I had my non-negotiables, I had my values, and I had my priorities. This all seems like a lot, but with the time where I was single, I was able to figure out what these things are. It's not something that I think you can just do overnight. And it comes with age, and it comes with experience. It comes with dating selfish guys to know you don't want to date a selfish guy. And not all the time, but it comes with time. So don't put pressure on yourself to know all of these things, but definitely don't go into it blind. Was that a caller? Oh my God. The first time I met him, I was really weird. And I didn't fully explain that I was a fan. So then he just thought I was like a weird person who was really smiley. And I was like, hi, how are you? But I didn't say like I'm a real big fan of your work. So anyways, I think with dating as well, you have to be really honest and authentic with yourself. Some of you love to lie to yourselves. And it's okay, sweetie. I'm going to hold your hand while I say this, but you have to be honest with yourself and authentic with yourself. What does that mean? That means telling the person that you're dating what you can and cannot do. Okay, I will give you an example. In fact, I will give you an example that's currently playing out, or was playing out a few weeks ago on Love is Blind. There was a man on Love is Blind. I don't know his name. He's like 3% black. I don't know the man's name. He's like a ginger white guy who looks like a rugby player, but he's got a wide nose. Okay, great. So that man was like to the girl in the pods, I will bring you flowers like randomly. Like, I just want to spoil my woman. Like, that's just stuff that I do. Like, I love to spoil my women. Anyway, they get out of the pods. And the girl's like, hey, we've been out of the pods for like a while now, and I haven't received the flowers you said you would give me. And that's something you said you do. And I told you that's something that's quite important to me. So like, are you going to start doing that? And then he was like, well, when I said I gave you flowers, I was kind of just using that as an example, but it wouldn't actually like be flowers. Well, then why did you say it, you weirdo? Now she's expecting you to live up to the standard that you told her you could do. Be honest, be authentic. If you can't afford the lifestyle that this girl wants, just be honest with that. I told my man from the jump, I can't boil water. And when I do cook for him, because I have now, because that's what love does too, just makes you start cooking for these men. I don't even want to talk about it. But when I do cook for him, it's because I'm like, I have the capacity to do this. You know what I mean? So anyway, be very honest and very authentic with yourself, okay? Now, when it comes to, like I was saying, dating with pressure versus with purpose, I think the biggest trap that we get set, or we set up for ourselves, is this idea of like a timeline is false and it's fake. And the idea that there are things you have to do in a certain linear way are false and fake. I just want you to know, whether you are watching this at whatever age you're watching at, 21, 53, whatever it is. Some of you are divorced. Some of you have never had a relationship. There's a plethora of us together in this community. What I'm trying to say is, with what you have in life and the life you've lived thus far, it's okay to understand that there is actually no right or wrong. We're all figuring it out. So when you are dating, when you are looking for your life partner, don't date putting pressure on yourself, because you're just going to make a decision under duress. No one makes a good decision when they're pressurized. But you need to be dating with purpose and intent. And when you do, on the other side, it's so much more beautiful and more. And I'm not saying like You know when people say like relationships are hard, I don't necessarily believe your relationship is hard. I think what's hard is the work that comes on working on yourself. What my relationship has shown me was, yes, I did lots of self-work when I was single and I was dating and I was figuring myself out. That was all great. That was all beautiful, lovely. What my relationship showed me was there's also a wealth of work that I need to do on myself. My communication was terrible. It's got better, but still isn't where it should be. But my communication was terrible. I never had to check in with another human being. I never had to do that. And now I've got someone who wants me to communicate with them. And I'm looking at him like, what? You know, that's what people are talking about when they say relationships are hard. It's not that the relationship itself is a struggle. It's that the work that comes up to the surface that you need to work on and they need to work on comes up, and you actually have to actively work on it so that you can be the best version of yourself for someone else. But you can only get to that point when you have dated and you are now in a relationship with somebody who is worth doing that work for. And you can only get to that point when you are dating with purpose, because you've done all the steps that you need to take to make sure that the person who you've added into your life and you have been an addition to their life is the right person for you, right? So yeah, I this whole thing of timeline, this whole thing of purpose and pressure and whatever, you feel that pressure, but I want you to take that pressure out of dating, because the minute that pressure comes, it's almost like you're settling. You're like, okay, this is a non-negotiable for me, but you know, he said he could try and potentially do. Nah. Don't put pressure on yourself. Take a chill pill. Also, there are like how many billions of people on this planet? Like 7 billion people. You're really not going to be single forever. There is someone out there for you. You can wait. You can absolutely wait. And while you're waiting, work on yourself. Get your bag up. Get your career up. Travel the world. See things. Yeah, just date with intention and with purpose, and take the pressure out of it, because on the other side of that is something beautiful. Bye. See you. This has been so much fun. We'll see you next week. Okay, I've been talking forever. These are meant to be really short episodes, so I love you. Bye.